So in this part 3 of tonight's Opportunity Zone meetups, we're going to talk some more about competition by and between opportunity zones, taking it from the perspective of a project manager who is looking to raise money into their project either through their own Opportunity Zone fund or potentially from an existing Opportunity Zone fund. And the question remains on the table: how do you compete when there's lots and lots of projects out there all competing for the same money, potentially from the same sources? So for tonight, we're going to do a case study on Dacono, Colorado. This is an area that has an opportunity zone, one of the 126 zones in the state of Colorado. And it is, I will say, representative of a lot of these different projects that could qualify for Opportunity Zone funding. So we're going to use it to dive deep into this and try to understand what is it about a particular project that may make it more attractive to funding. So on this map, Dacono, Colorado, home rule city, founded in 1908. It's actually the combination of 3 women's names. That's on the trivia exam for later, but we'll get into that. As of 2010, it had only 4,500 people in it. But the most important thing is that this is I-25, the main corridor between Fort Collins and Denver. And this comes right up to the edge of I-25. You've got a major state highway going across the northern part of this. And so it's in a very interesting development position for ongoing growth along the Front Range in Colorado. The city is trying to do its best to take advantage of this and has an opportunity zone now as another tool in its tool bag to do economic development. So on this particular project is a 21-acre site. This is a sat map showing the perimeter with Highway 52 going across. I-25 is out here to the left a ways, about 1.5 miles. And it's got, obviously from these pictures, you can see residential property coming up to the edge on the side. On this map over here, you can see where it's located relative to the major part of the city of Dacono, which is basically right next door to the cities of Frederick and Firestone. And this is I-25 and Highway 52 going across. So interesting area. All good. We have essentially a piece of dirt that could be developed, and it is now qualified in an opportunity zone for attraction of money. This is a zoning map for the city of Dacono. So we're looking at this area right here in red, which is classified C1 commercial. And we're asking ourselves, what would we build here that would make sense from a real estate development standpoint that would take advantage of being along a highway here and with a major interstate close by. And the problem we come up against is this property looks a lot like a lot of other properties that are in opportunity zones. It's a piece of land that has a potential to build on and make money off of it. And that by itself may make sense. And if you're in Dacono, Firestone area up there, and you want to build locally in the community, this may be the best property for you to look to. But if you're looking for investors to come into this project from outside of Dacono, from across Colorado, or from outside somewhere in the United States, why would they come here instead of doing a project in their backyard? What is it that this particular project offers that they can't get somewhere closer, possibly with people they know better, property they're more familiar with, potentially in an area that may have higher valuation appreciation over the 10-year time period because it's going to be in a denser populated area. 2 weeks ago, we had a presentation by Michael Graham with Sebastian Partners, who's doing the Avalon project and the Gravitas Fund out near Denver International Airport. And that project is 1,000 residences and 4 commercial areas in a 283-acre parcel, and the density is going to be higher. So you're saying, well, if I'm an investor, why don't I give money to Michael as opposed to giving money to whoever's running this particular project? And right now, as it stands, there's no good answer to that question. There's no reason why this project would get preference over other projects that would seemingly have higher ROI potential over time. So what we're going to be talking about is what can you do as a project manager to make this project stand out? What can you do to make it more attractive? It isn't the land that's driving this now, even though it's situated in an opportunity zone. It's what you do with the land that's going to make it more attractive as an overall investment. And essentially, you should think of this project as a blank canvas. And if you just want to pop up a bunch of residential properties, you might do that. You might raise your funding, and everything's fine. It may not require you to do anything different from a business model, other than the fact that if you build a bunch of properties with intent to flip them, you may not meet the qualifications for a 10-year hold in an opportunity zone, and therefore you may not be able to attract those investors. You may still be able to find classical investors still looking for a good return on investment for a property development, but the opportunity zone may be beyond your reach, and because right now all you have is a blank canvas, you don't have a lot of selling features to cause an opportunity zone investor or an opportunity zone fund to look at this particular project.